This is Nitya Ramachandra from the NR Hour Sports Show. Happy Friday, everyone. I hope everyone has a great weekend. This is episode 983. I am joined by a really special guest. His name is Tony Collins. He's a former NFL running back. He also played in the Arena Football League. He played for the Patriots, Colts, Dolphins, and Predators, Rockers, and Hooters. We'll get to all of that and his career and his amazing career journey. And he's doing big things off the field. He has a book out there called Broken Road, Turning a Mess into a Message. Go check that out on Amazon. We're going to get to his book also. And we are live on Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the podcast platforms. So fans, please tune in. You can ask questions on my app to Tony also. So first of all, Tony, how are you and your family doing? And thank you again for joining the show.
Doing fantastic, man. Good to join you. How you been doing?
Good. Just busy with work and busy with the show. And my team is amazing. They help me out a lot with booking guests, and also I work for FanDuel now too, so double work.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I see that big star on your chest, man.
Yeah.
What's going on with that?
My father, my father went to boarding school in Arkansas. So, and that's where Jerry Jones basically is from, Arkansas. So my father grew up watching Texas football, Arkansas football, and Cowboys football. So when I was born, and then around like 6, 7, 8 years old, my dad said, you cannot be a fan unless you can't be a fan of any other team except for the Cowboys. And if you do, you're gonna kick me out. He's gonna kick me out. So I was forced to be a Cowboys fan. So I bleed blue and silver until I die. So
I got you, man. I was hoping for big things for you from your Cowboys this year.
I know,
man.
It's we had a letdown game against the 49ers, and we'll get to all the playoffs and also the Super Bowl. But I want to get started with your career though. You had an amazing career, in my opinion, a great running back. So for you, what started you to get into football?
So I'm from a family of 16, and my father actually played in the Negro League. So he was a big baseball fan and player, and so he wanted us. We all played sports. All my brothers played sports. We played baseball. We played basketball, but the sport that stood out for small hometown in upstate New York. It's called Penn Yan, New York. It's like maybe 50 miles south of Rochester, New York. So it's upstate, and real small, beautiful small town on the lake, on Cuca Lake. We were the only Black family in the whole town, and but it was great, man. It was great living there. Everybody loved us, and we just loved playing football, and we all wanted to play in the NFL. All my brothers, we all wanted to play. And I be honest with you, man, I wasn't the best player in my family. So, but I had a goal. I was determined. One thing I did, and I didn't know what I was doing at the time, but I went to my mom and I told my mom, I said, Mom, I am going to play. Years old now. I said, Mom, I'm going to play in the NFL, not knowing what I was doing at the time, but I was speaking my future into the present. And that's one of the things that I teach people all the time, that your words have power. I didn't know back then that they had power, but I put my words and I put my words to work, and the rest is history.
Wow, that's amazing. The only Black family to live in that neighborhood it's truly great, amazing there. And for you, speaking of your father, did you ever think of playing baseball and football at the same time, like a Bo Jackson type of player?
I did. I played baseball. I played baseball all the way up to my freshman year. I played Little League All-Star team, wow. Babe Ruth All-Star team. I was pretty good at it. And I got to my freshman year in high school. So my older brother, one of my older brothers, the one I said it was probably the best out of all of us.
Yeah.
He made the varsity team his freshman year. And that was like unheard of. Wow. Nobody makes the varsity team their freshman year, and he made the varsity team his freshman year. And so, I'm thinking when I get there, I'm probably, when he was a freshman, I was probably maybe I don't know, sixth grade, fifth grade, something like that. So in my mind, if he did it, I'm going to do it too. And so when I got to high school, my freshman year, went out for the varsity team, and I didn't make it. And I was so disappointed, man, so disappointed. And that really started the drive in me to really work even harder. And so when after my freshman year of football playing on JV, instead of for track, because I wanted to get faster. I talked to my dad. I said, Dad, I'm really want to focus on football. I know he didn't want me to stop playing baseball because he loves baseball. And I said, Dad, I'm gonna focus on football. I'm not gonna play baseball this year. Pretty cool about it. He said, okay, is that what you want to do? Then you go ahead and do it. So I stopped playing baseball my freshman year in high school and ran track, got faster, and that's when I went to East Carolina.
Wow. Well, yeah. So speaking of running back position, who were some of the running backs that you looked up to in your day, in your era?
Coming up as a kid, it was Jim Brown, Leroy. I was a Cleveland Browns fan coming up as a kid. So it was Leroy, it was Jim Brown, Leroy Kelly, and then when I got a little older, my favorite guy was Tony Dorsett.
Yeah,
he was the man. He was the man, and that's why I wore 33. Wow. And my rookie season, man, it's a great memory. It's one of the memories. I don't have a lot of great memories that I can remember, but this is one of them. It was Monday Night Football, man, and my rookie season, and Tony Dorsett comes to town on Monday Night Football. Howard Cosell, the whole works, Wow. And I got a chance to meet my hero before the game and That's after the game. Wow. Yeah, and he ran wild on us that night too. I think he had like 175 yards or something like that. But it was a great night for me. Even though we lost, I got the chance to meet my idol.
Yeah. So when you met Tony Dorsett, what did he say to you, and what advice did he give to you?
He says that I think he was probably maybe like 5-6 years in the league or something. So he was a vet, and I was a rookie. He was and he just said, man, keep working hard. That was the main thing. He said, just keep working hard. And I said, thanks, man. I appreciate it. I can't remember too much, whatever. We were just just gabbing away at it, But remember, he said, keep working hard, and that stuck with me a lot.
Yeah. So you're known for a speed and powerful running back in your career. So how impactful was track for you? Doing track and getting better with that speed, and how important is that for athletes doing track before playing?
I think if any athlete wants to get faster, you need to run track. It's because there's so many things that you can do to help your speed and increase your agility and get your legs strong, and it's just a whole bunch of things that I wanted. I thought that it would make me a better football player, and it did. So my goal, but see, here's the thing, and I tell kids all the time: if you want to be the best at what you do, you can't do what everybody else is doing. And so we lived on this hill where we grew up, and I used to run up and down that hill every day, man. Just run that hill and get my legs stronger. I knew high school that I was pretty good, and things were kind of coming into place, and getting all these different letters from different colleges and things such as that, and didn't really know what to do. There was Syracuse that was like maybe 35, 40 minutes away, and that was probably one of the big schools that was really after me. And then I got a plug from University of Florida. Got to tell you the story. It's a great story. Got a plug from University of Florida. This is 1976. So University of Florida wants me to come and visit them. I've never been on an airplane before.
Hmm.
And so I was pretty excited, man, to get on this airplane, got on the airplane, went down to University of Florida, Gainesville, and man, it was great. It was fantastic. At that time, they had the football dorm rooms were inside the stadium.
Wow.
I mean, it was incredible. It was like, wow, this is great. And so their colors were orange and blue. My high school colors are orange and blue. Wow. And so, this has got to be the perfect fit, and back then you signed a letter of intent. And I signed my letter of intent. I'm going to the University of Florida. And that was my fourth visit that I took. As a senior, you get 5 official visits. And the University of Florida was my fourth visit. And I was like, I'm going to University of Florida. There's no question about it. And so I come back home, and Pat Dye. I don't know if you remember Pat Dye. He coached at Auburn, Coach Bo Jackson. He's a legend at Auburn. He's a legend at East Carolina too. But Pat Dye was at East Carolina at the time. And so he calls me up on the phone. I'm back home. He calls me up on the phone. He asked me, did I want to come for a visit? I was like, East Carolina, where you guys at? He said, wow. We're in North Carolina. I said, listen, are you guys going to fly me down for the visit? He said, yeah, we're going to fly you down. I was like, hell yeah, I'm coming, man. I get to get on the airplane for the second time in 2 weeks, So it was a great thing. I only went to East Carolina just to get on the airplane again. And that's the only reason I went. And I got down there and I met Pat Dye, and he told me 2 things. And this is another thing why I tell kids all the time that your words have power. He said, son, if you come here, you'll get an opportunity to play, and you'll get an opportunity to play in the NFL. The coach of Florida didn't tell me that.
Wow.
And so I call home. I'm calling home. I'm in East Carolina. I call home and I tell my brothers, I tell my mom and my dad, I said, listen, I don't think I want to go to University of Florida anymore. I want to go to East Carolina University. Wow. It was like, what? This is 1977. Even now, you think East Carolina over Florida, right? And so I remember my father saying, I heard of North Carolina and I heard of South Carolina, but where in the hell is East Carolina?
That's crazy.
Yeah, man. That's my East Carolina story. That's how I wound up at East Carolina University because of Pat Dye.
Hey, East Carolina is growing as a football team now.
Oh yeah, absolutely. They're doing big things now. Yeah, we struggled for the last 3 or 4 years, but we got Coach Mike Houston has come in and he's done a great job. We had our first winning season in 6 years, so we're looking for good things to happen for us this upcoming season as well.
Well, yeah. So we are live with running back Tony Collins. We already have a fan question in here. This one of our fans is a big Patriots fan, so he wants to know what was it like wearing the throwback jerseys while you were playing with the Patriots.
To us, there weren't throwback jerseys. Yeah. those were the real. Those are the real deal. I'm gonna tell you, man. They need to go back to those jerseys. Those were the best. Those were the best jerseys that New England ever had. The 1985 jerseys, man. Those jerseys were the best. So that logo is the thing, though. The logo with the guy with the ball. Yeah. That's the best logo ever.
Yeah, that's a great question there by our fan. He's a diehard Patriots fan. He said so.
Yeah, he knows the truth. The old logo is the best logo.
Yeah. So just tell our fans about your East Carolina career. What was that like going there into the campus, and what was a fan atmosphere like when you were there?
I mean, the fans are great. But here's the thing. I was growing up in upstate New York. We didn't get the humidity that North Carolina got, and so when I got down there my freshman year, all the guys were like, you meet everybody and say, where are you from? I'm from New York. Like, New York? How'd you get down? New York. So, they were ragging on me pretty hard and everything. So, but so I knew I had to, step my game up. But man, when that humidity hit me that first day of practice, it was something special. But I pushed my way through, you know how you almost think you're going to throw up.
Yeah.
It was one of those days for me because I just wasn't used to the humidity, but I didn't want them to see that I was hurting real bad my first day. But it was great, man. I was, being away from home for your first time ever in life. It was kind of scary at first, but you know what you're here to do, and I had a plan. I had a goal. I had my goal. I had my plan written down, and it was to make it to the NFL. And I was going to do everything that necessary, and everything that's necessary that I could do to build that up. But it was great. My freshman year didn't play a lot, but I played a little bit and I returned kicks, and started my sophomore year. And from there on, man, it was a great career for me, being there with Pat Dye and a lot of great guys, Eddie Hicks and Zach Valentine. And these guys were super guys that I got a chance to play with.
Yeah. So what would you say some of your best moments was at East Carolina as a running back?
Best moments, we played in the Independence, 2 touchdowns in that game. But I think it's crazy. One of the best moments. I still hold a record for the longest kickoff return in East Carolina history. It was against Florida State. It was my senior year, and this is the first time we were playing, because we're East Carolina. We were an independent school. And we didn't play the only big schools we played were North Carolina State, North Carolina, maybe Wake Forest, something like that. Because a lot of schools didn't want to play us, because if we beat them, it'll make them look bad. And if they beat us, they're supposed to beat us. But and so teams are afraid to play us. So my senior year, we go up to Florida State. This is our first time ever playing Florida State, and we were definitely outmatched. But the opening kickoff, they kicked off to us, and I took it back 104 yards for a touchdown, and we're winning 7-0. This is crazy. And the final score was 63-7.
Wow. Woo. Woo.
We lost 63-7.
Wow. So you were the only one who had just scored.
we had our moment early in the game.
That's crazy. Wow. And you still hold the record for the 104-yard return, huh?
Yeah, it's still standing. Yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. Yeah. So what would you tell now to high school players when it comes to recruiting about East Carolina? If players want to go there, or just to see the place in the college, what would you tell high school players about East Carolina?
Oh man, it's a great school, man. The facilities are fantastic. I mean, it's top notch. They've improved. They've improved in everything. We're in the AAC. A great conference. We play great teams. We play Cincinnati. Cincinnati's in our conference. Houston's in our conference. And so, we are building, and that's one of the things that a lot of kids, they hear it. Well, I you know what? I take that back. East Carolina is on the map now. Back when I was playing, they really weren't on the map. But East Carolina's on the map now. And if you come to East Carolina, you're going to get an opportunity to play some. Whatever sport you play, but the facilities, it's a nice little small town. It's a great place to actually grow up. I put it to you that way, because you do a lot of growing up in college, and a lot of things that being in a big city atmosphere, it may not work for a lot of kids or a lot of people. But being in this small town atmosphere that East Carolina got, and the people are so great, so loving in North Carolina, man, it's a totally big difference than the city type thing. And I think anybody who is thinking about coming to East Carolina, man, it's a great opportunity for them as an athlete. And if you're a good football player, we need good football players.
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, so we have another fan question. They want to know what were you like as a running back throughout your career? They want to know if you were like a north-south running back, east-west?
I was north and south, man. I like hitting that hole and getting it. One of the things that when I got to East Carolina, and so if you know about the wishbone, it's it's not a feature back. You got to do blocking. You got to learn how to block. So I had to learn how to block because when I was in high school, all I did was just run the ball. And so I had to learn how to block when I was at East Carolina. I've always able to catch the ball, but I didn't know too much about blocking, but I learned how to block. And so I became a complete back. And that's one of the things that you want as a running back. You want to be complete. You want to be able to run. You want to be able to catch, and you want to be able to block. Your blocking assignments are very important to the quarterback, very important to the guy who's running the ball as well. And so one of the things I strived at was being the complete back. So running north and south is very important, and that's something that I did. But I think even more important is becoming that complete back, the run, to catch, and to block.
Wow, yeah, that's really important for a running back, Like I said, you put up amazing numbers throughout your NFL career. And speaking of the NFL, tell our fans about the draft experience from 1981, round 2, pick 47 from the New England Patriots, historic franchise. Man, what was that like for you and your family, waiting for your name to be called? And once the round 2 hit, once 47th hit, once they announced Tony Collins going to the New England Patriots, how did that feel?
Dream come true, man. I still feel I got goosebumps when you're just saying that. You work so hard for something, and then you're right there at it. I remember I was watching it I was watching it on ESPN in my 12-inch black and white TV. I didn't because my agent was telling me that he was getting a lot of calls from the Washington Redskins. And I was going to probably be drafted in the 4th or the 5th round. See, back then they had 12 rounds.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. It didn't matter to me if I got drafted 12th round. I just wanted to get drafted, get to a team, then I could show them what I could do, Yeah. And so they were telling me I was going to get drafted in the 4th or the 5th round to the Redskins, because back then they had the combines, and they also had different teams would actually fly you in. And Washington was one of the teams that flew me in for an interview, and I went up there and worked out for them. So, I'm thinking, they're going to draft me in the 4th or the 5th round. I did very well at the combine, and when actually we went to the combine in Dallas. The combine was in Dallas at that time, and I went down there. I met some great guys. I actually roomed with Howie Long. Howie Long was my roommate at the combine, yeah. And I got to meet Kenny Easley and a bunch of guys, man. Hanford Dixon. But so I'm watching the draft on my 12-inch black and white TV, and so I'm waiting for the 4th or the 5th round because that's when I'm going to get called, But I'm still watching the draft because I'm seeing some of my buddies that I met at the combine get drafted. So I'm really happy for them. So the 2nd round comes around, and there's 2 people sitting at the New England Patriots table, and so the camera kind of like zooms in on their table. Yeah. And the guy writes the name. He writes the name Anthony Collins. That was my name, Anthony Collins.
Oh wow!
They used to call me AC. And so he writes down the name Anthony Collins. I was like, I wonder if there's another Anthony Collins in this draft, because before I get the call, he writes down my name Anthony Collins, and he just gives it to the guy. I was like, I wonder if there's another Anthony Collins in the draft, because Anthony Collins is a pretty common name. As soon as I said that, my phone rings. Oh, wow. And my phone rings, and it was I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Pat Sullivan. I can't remember who the guy was at this time, but he says, "This is the New England Patriots calling." I was like, "What?" Oh man, it was, and I was just there by myself, man. Because I didn't want the big hoopla or nothing, because you never know about the draft. I thought there was a lot of guys who before me, they had their families there. everybody was there. The TV people were there, and they didn't even get drafted. So I didn't want no parts of that. And so, man, when I got the call, I called my mom, called my dad, all my brothers, and man, it's indescribable, the feeling, that you work so hard for, and people tell you that, man, that's to 1 in a million chance to make it to the NFL, and it really is a 1 in a million chance, because there's so many guys who are trying to do what you do, or get where you're trying to go, and God gave me the opportunity to play football pretty good, and I'm just so fortunate and so blessed to. I just thank him every day for that day, because it's one of the days that you never forget.
Yes. So you guys got to see them write the names, huh?
Yeah, I actually see this. I actually saw this guy write my name down on a piece of paper,
Wow.
Anthony Collins, and I was like, I wonder if there's another Anthony Collins in this draft, because I'm still thinking 4th or 5th round. That's still stuck in my mind, 4th or 5th round. And yeah, when that phone rang, man, it was pretty cool.
Yeah. So another great moment happened for you too. Your former high school teammate Chris Christie you drafted in the same year, and you guys were teammates again in New England. So take me back to that story. What was that like when he got?
And that's the crazy thing. Let me tell you how powerful your words can be.
Yeah.
we are in high school now, and me and Chris was probably we're the best guys two best guys on the team, and we go to this all-star banquet or whatever, and we're talking to these reporters or whatever. We're in high school, and the reporter guys, asking us questions and stuff, and I said to Chris while we were going, I said, wouldn't it be cool if both of us made it to the NFL, just like that, just nonchalantly, and then he started, talking to me. And I said, yeah, I'm gonna play in the NFL. And he said, do you know where this is the interview guy talking to me. He said, do you know what your chances are to make it to the NFL? He said, your chances are probably 20,000 to 1. And this is were my exact words to him. He says, I said to him, I said, so you're saying I got a chance.
Wow.
And the rest is history, man. Chrissy got drafted in the 12th round with the Patriots, and it was like a dream come true, man. Us being on the same team at the same time. He didn't make it through training camp, but here's the cool thing about it: he got released, got picked up by the Washington Redskins, and they go to the Super Bowl and they win the Super Bowl. He gets a Super Bowl ring.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But that's a great story, though, seeing some of your former teammates being drafted to the same team, getting to play with them again. It makes your transition easy going into a new
it was. I'm gonna tell you, my transition from high school to college was probably the toughest. But from college to the pros, man, it was like so smooth. Everything was like, this is not hard. I think because I worked so hard during my college career, man. I mean, I had fun. I had a lot of fun, but there was no drinking, there was no drugging, there was no staying out late. There was none of that, because I was so focused on being this great football player, and that's all I wanted. And like my dad said, in order to be the best at what you do, you can't do what everybody else is doing. And that's one of the things I did. I didn't want to do what everybody else was doing. If the guys are going out in the night and they're drinking, they're smoking weed, that wasn't me. I didn't want to do that, because I had this goal to achieve. And man, it all paid off for me. It really did. It really paid off for me.
Hey, it did. I have your numbers right here. Over 5,000 rushing yards, over 3,000 receiving yards. You put up over 32 rushing touchdowns, over 12 receiving touchdowns. Man, that speaks for yourself, man. That's a great resume for an NFL career. And speaking of that, we have another fan question. They want to know, what was it like being a receiver too throughout your career? Because you got I just said the numbers, but they want to know, what was it like transitioning from running back to receiver at some game in some games?
It kind of came natural for me, because I've always had good hands. You know, I worked hard at catching the ball, and I remember my rookie season. I got to New England, and Steve Grogan would stay out later and start working with the receivers. You know, throwing passes with receivers. So I was like, I'm going to stay out too. You know, I'm going to stay out with them and work with Steve. And I was actually running receiver routes, running receiver routes and different things like that. And I also did some stuff coming out of the backfield. But I ran receiver routes, and you know, it's a whole different thing. When the ball is, when you got a 3-yard pass, it's easy to catch.
Yeah.
But when you're away from that ball for 15, 20 yards or even more, it's something that you really got to focus in on. And I think that helped me a lot, is running those receiver routes my rookie season. And I strive myself to be one of the best at coming out of the backfield catching the ball.
Wow. Yeah. So speaking of the Patriots franchise, a historic team, obviously. And for you, what was it like just playing there? And then the fans, they have an amazing fan base, in my opinion, in the NFL. So what was it like just representing the Patriots organization?
I was really fortunate, man. I got to play and got to run behind two great offensive linemen. Brian Holloway was, and he's still my friend today, was a great guy. He got drafted in the first round in '81, and I got drafted in the second round. We became really close friends.
Oh, wow.
And but Brian Holloway was a great offensive tackle. But there was one guy that stood out, and I know you've heard of his name before, and his name is John Hannah.
Yeah.
And I got the opportunity to run behind the best, and I'm gonna tell you right now, the best offensive lineman ever to play the game. I don't care what anybody say.
Yeah.
John Hannah was the best offensive guard to play football ever.
Yep.
There's one guy who may be just like him. I can't think of his name right now, but he plays for the Baltimore Indianapolis Colts.
Oh.
His number is 56. I can't think of his name, but that kid reminds me a lot of John Hannah.
Darius Leonard.
No, I'm talking about offensive guard.
Oh, offensive guard. Okay.
Offensive guard. John Hannah was an offensive guard. I can't remember this kid's name from the Colts, but I know his number is 56.
Yeah.
Because I watched him. I was like, God, this guy looks just like John Hannah. The way he's built, the way he moves people. But John Hannah was the best, man. I got the opportunity to run behind him, and that really kind of made it kind of easy for me when I was at New England.
Well, speaking of the Hall of Fame, real quick, I think you deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, in my opinion.
No.
John Hannah, why is he in the Hall of Fame? Correct me if I'm wrong.
Absolutely, John Hannah is in the Hall of Fame. Yeah.
But how come? I think they need to switch up for the Hall of Fame. They need to recognize more players, what they did on the field and off the field. And
here's the thing. The Hall of Fame is not just what you do on the field; it's what you do off the field. Yeah. And so I ran into trouble, man. And that's why I wrote my book. My third season after I had a great career. I mean, I had great two or 3 years, and my third season. In the beginning of training camp, I get cracked ribs. Now, to tell you the whole story of this, and I should have been wise, and I should have been wiser, but I wasn't. I made a choice because, see, my rookie season, when I came in, they drafted me. They actually drafted me to return kicks, and they told me this. Because the year before, I don't know if you heard of this guy before. His name is Vegas Ferguson. He's from Notre Dame.
Yeah, I've heard.
Vegas Ferguson was their number one pick the year before me.
Yeah.
So he was going to be their star running back. I was going to be the kickoff return guy in the backup. And so my rookie season, I'm the third string running back on the team. I've never been third string before in anything I've done. Right. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm first string. They just don't know it yet. So like I did, man. I'm studying my playbook. Guys are going out. This is during training camp. Guys going out because you get a little time after dinner, after the meetings where you can go out and get a beer or whatever. I wasn't drinking, so what am I going out for? Yeah. So I stay in my dorm room, and I'm studying my playbook.
Yeah,
I'm learning my playbook while other guys are going out. I know for a fact that if I learn this playbook and if I work hard, I'm going to get an opportunity. And so here's the deal. I'm the first one on the field at training camp, and I'm the last one off the field at training camp because I'm running routes with Steve Rogan all the time. Yeah. And so I'm the first one in the weight room, and I'm the last one out of the weight room. Like I said, if you want to be the best at what you do, you can't do what everybody else is doing. And so I'm doing everything extra. I'm learning the playbook. I'm waiting for my opportunity to come. My rookie season, during training camp, I'm the third string running back. Horace Ivory from Oklahoma is the number 2 running back. Vegas Ferguson from Notre Dame is the number 1 running back. The second week of training camp, Horace Ivory gets hurt. So I move up to number 2. The last week of training camp, the 4th week, we only have four weeks. The last week of training camp, Vegas Ferguson goes down with an ankle. Wow. So now I'm the number 1 running back. I get to start the first game of my career against the Baltimore Colts. They were Baltimore back then. And I had like 85 yards rushing, caught about 4 or 5 passes, and my career is off and running, man. I get rookie of the year. Yeah. I lead the team in rushing. Next year I come out, I lead the team in rushing again. I go to the Pro Bowl, and then that third year, I think it's a third year. It might have been the 4th year. I'm not sure, but I get cracked ribs in the beginning of training camp. Wow. I don't know if you ever had cracked ribs before, but they're so painful. And so I get these cracked ribs. And so now here's my decision. The choice I have to make. Either stay on the field and not let somebody take my job, or I'm going to have to rest for about at least 4 weeks for these cracked ribs to heal up. Right. So I'm going to be out for 4 to stay on the field. And that choice led me down this road where I don't want nobody to go. I got addicted to painkillers. So I would take the cortisone shots in my side before the game. And back then, if you're able to play, they're going to give you the pills. I was getting the painkillers from my trainers. So, it was easy to access, and I got addicted to painkillers, man. I would take painkillers in the morning to wake up. I take painkillers at night to go to sleep because I was in so much pain for that whole pretty much that whole entire year until my ribs healed up, and I got addicted to painkillers. And one of the guys on the team, they came to me and said, because it was actually making me sick because I was taking so much. He said, "Man, you smoke some marijuana, it'll take the nauseousness away from you." Never smoked marijuana before. And so sure enough, I smoked marijuana, and now I'm popping pills and I'm smoking marijuana. That whole season, I'm doing well. I'm doing well on the field, but I'm not doing well off the field. And I started hanging around people that I shouldn't be hanging around with. One of the things my father used to always say, one of the keys of being successful is surrounding yourself with successful people. Yeah. And so I wasn't surrounding myself with good people. I was surrounding myself with bad people because now I'm getting all these different kind of painkillers, and I'm getting the weed from people. The weed led to cocaine, and that led to me getting actually suspended for a whole entire year from my career. And so, but it was a choice that I made because I wanted to stay on the sometimes I say I regret it, but now I think about it, I don't regret it because God spared my life so many times. He spared my life, and he led me to where I am today, where I get the opportunity to help other people. Yeah. And that's what my life is all about now. I just want to help as many people as possible, because drugs is a thing, man, that it could take you. Yeah. I mean, see, here's the thing. I don't want nobody to go through what I went through. I hurt a lot of people during my drug years, man. I hurt a lot of people, man, and it eats at me a lot of times a day. Sometimes if I dwell on it long enough, it'll eat at me, because I know I hurt my mom and my dad, my family, just people, because I wasn't a good guy when I was doing drugs. I did things. I lied. I cheated. It was just bad. And I'm just so thankful today that I got the opportunity to write my book.
Yeah.
Because I just want to help people. I want people to understand, man, even if you make a choice to go down that road, there's still a chance, because God has been so good to me, man. I shouldn't be here talking to you right now, man, to be totally honest with you. But God has given me an opportunity to help other people. When you talk about Hall of Fame, I shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame. I'm not Hall of Fame material because of the choices that I made back when I was playing. Now, in my heart, I'm Hall of Fame all day long with my kids, with my wife, with my grandkids. Yeah. And see, that's what it's all about for me. Just loving life, doing the things we ran into a little bump with you. I'm down here in Louisiana right now. My wife, she's on the Mardi Gras parade floats. It's something that she looks forward to every year. She does the floats, and I just love family. I'm from a big family anyway. I just love family, man, and just love just helping people as much as I can.
Yes, I saw that baby on your Instagram yesterday. It's cute.
Now she is famous.
Yeah, so man, what a wow, thanks for sharing that. Most athletes would never share that type of story on other shows like that. That's thank you for sharing that story on
man. That's me.
Yeah. So we have another fan question. They want to know some of your best moments as a Patriots running back.
Best moments as the Patriot running back. It would have to be my third year. I got another record. I got a record there that's still standing. I used to joke all. I said I had 212 yards in one game, three touchdowns, 212 yards, and 23 carries. And that record's still standing today.
Wow.
I used to say all the time, as long as Brady's there, that record's not going to be broken, because they didn't run the ball a lot when Tom was there. But it's that moment when I got that record, and the record is still standing today. I think that stands out. And the other thing, we were actually the first New England Patriot team to go to the Super Bowl. Oh. A lot of people don't know that. Back in our '85 season, we played against the Chicago Bears. That's when Chicago was pretty good. We got our butts beat, but it was fun getting there, man. Because we were underdog. Our first game, we had to play the Jets. Went to New York, beat them. Had to fly out to LA, beat the Raiders, beat Howie Long. I got the chance to beat him. Yeah. Beat Howie Long. Then went to Miami for the AFC Championship game. We hadn't beaten Miami in 24 years down there. Spanked them, man, and got a chance to play in the Super Bowl. And we were the first Patriot team to make it to the Super Bowl for the New England Patriots. Yep.
Oh, that's amazing. So for you, speaking of running back, Mary, you're holding up the record still. That's amazing at East Carolina and New England. But I got to ask you about one Patriots running back right now, Damian Harris. What are your thoughts on him?
I think the kid is great, man. Runs north and south, and man, he has everything. He has all the tools. He has power. He has speed. If he can stay healthy, he'll put up a lot of good numbers for New England. You got now where you got so many good running backs that are in the league, and they share time, and I think that's great. Back when we were playing, we didn't have the concussion thing or concussion protocol, and so it's. I'm not saying it's easier for the players to last longer, But man, we took some hits back then when we were
Yeah.
playing. You get knocked in the head. I've been knocked out a few times, and I know, you get that, you get you the smelling sauce,
Yeah.
and you get right back in the game.
Wow.
You got a headache, you got a concussion, but you're still playing. So it's unfortunate that because we didn't know, man. It was football. You get knocked out in football. It's part of the game. That's what we thought. But it's something that a lot of my friends are going through stuff. I go through it too.
Yeah.
I'm in the lawsuit. There's good days and there's some bad days because you just you don't know what this thing is because the CTE, you don't know if you got it until you're dead. And so that's the tough part about it. But there's some good days and there's some bad days. So I'll put it to you like that.
If you don't mind me asking, which lawsuit?
It's the concussion lawsuit it's been going on now for about 6-7 years. I've seen so many doctors, man. I've failed so many tests, but it's something that I it's not about the money.
No.
For me, it's something that I want to do if I'm able to get it, because I know for a fact that I've had. I mean, I can't even count how many concussions I've had since I played, and that's going all the way back to high school.
Yeah.
So I have my days, man. I have my days where that they're not so good, but at the same time, man, you stay positive. You stay uplifting, and one of the things that, because I'm gonna be totally honest, I had stopped actually doing Facebook, man. I had stopped doing everything. I was a motivational speaker. I would go around speaking and doing a lot of things with kids going to high schools and stuff like that, and then I stopped because I couldn't travel by myself, so yeah. I can't travel by myself anymore. So wherever I go, I have to have somebody with me. But my wife, about 2 years ago, me and my wife were sitting down, and she was saying, you still got to tell your story, man. You're just not doing anything, and it was bad. I was just sitting around. I would go work out, but I was just sitting home because I didn't want to go anywhere, because I didn't know if because there are days where you have these days where you don't want to just do anything. So, but she started talking to me. She said, you need to start telling your story again. And I got back at it, man. So I started back on Facebook, and I was starting ready to get back into the schools, and the pandemic hit.
Wow.
So the pandemic hit and kind of wiped that all off. So I'm on Facebook, telling my story and just trying to uplift people as much as possible, because you just never know when somebody's hurting or when somebody just needs an encouraging word, because there's days when I need an encouraging word, you know what I mean? So I know for a fact that there are people out here that's even worse off than me, and they're going through a lot of things. So I just want to help as many people as possible. That's my goal.
Well, yeah, I got the name of your Colts guy, Quentin Nelson.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's the guy. That's him. That kid is going to be good.
Yeah, that the Colts offensive line is amazing. Yeah. So I got to ask you about this. And speaking of stories, obviously I'm really honored to have you on the show here. Have you been on any other podcasts or shows recently before this one too?
Okay, I have, but I'm gonna be totally honest with you. I can't remember who they were. And I'm not saying that I'm gonna forget you too, but
no. I'm saying like your wife said you have to go back out there, share your stories, and so that's a good thing that she said that. So have you done like any other interviews lately?
I have. We've done some stuff, man. We actually, me and my granddaughter, we were on the Steve Harvey show.
Oh wow!
And so that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Being on the Steve Harvey show, but yeah, man, we're doing we're just doing what we can to help as many people as we can. And I think the pandemic is kind of dizzling out a little bit, and so hopefully this upcoming fall we can get back into the school system and help kids, because that's where it all starts, man. If we can get these kids to understand to stay away from drugs before they get to the drugs,
Yeah.
then we're a step up, But because afterwards, man, it's tough. I mean, it's a tough road. It's a tough road for everybody. I dealt with this drug thing for over 18 years, man. After I got out of the league, man, I mean, it wasn't a good scene for me after I got out of the league. I stayed away from everybody after I got out of the league because I felt like a failure. I mean, I had a great career, but in my mind, I felt like a failure. You know what I mean? Because I know I should have played longer. I know I should have put up better numbers. I know I should have. If everything went as planned, like you said, I should be in the Hall of Fame. But I'm not a Hall of Famer because of my off-field actions. And so, so that's one of the reasons why I try to tell kids all the time, especially athletes. When you go to school, when you go to college, you're going to college. I know you love football, you want to play football, but understand this, man. You got to get that piece of paper. You got to get that degree, man. You got to get that piece of paper, and that's something that I didn't get mine when I first got to school. I went back at the ripe age of 50. I think it was 50, 51 maybe, and I got my degree. And that's why we went back to get my degree, and we just stayed down in Greenville, and that's where we're still living, in Greenville. That was back in 2008.
Yeah. So one of our fans said, "What a day to start! Listening to this amazing, motivational, and strong message from Tony Collins." So that's what one of our fans just said on the thing. So
yeah, go get the book from Amazon,
yeah.
or you can DM me and get a signed copy if you want. DM me on Facebook or Instagram. I think my handle on Instagram is Tony Collins BWYB. That BWYB is Become What You Believe.
Yeah. So speaking of that book, actually, before we get to your book, tell our fans about your arena football career. You put us. You put us some good numbers there. You had 6 interceptions as an arena football league player.
Arena football. Come on, man. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna tell you, the first year I was gonna coach for the who was it? Orlando Predators. I think the first team I played for. I think it was.
It was the Predators. Yeah.
Yeah. First team I played for was Orlando. My thing was because I had moved back because I was born in Sanford, Florida, and so I had family in Sanford. So my mom and dad was in Sanford, and so I was just there just to be around them. And so the Atlanta Predators came up. They come up. So I was going to coach. I was going to be a coach.
Wow.
And so I go there the first day. I was like, you know what? I can play with these guys. And I just started playing, and it was fun. It was, I was still playing. I was still playing football. It was a different kind of football, but it was football. But it was a lot of fun. I put it to you that way. Yeah, a lot of scoring. And you get a chance to play defense when you play arena football. I wasn't too keen about tackling anybody, but yeah, those arena football days were funny, man. Those are some fun days too.
Yeah, arena football. That's sometimes fun to watch because they play a different style of football, obviously, and the field is a little bit smaller. But
a lot smaller.
Yeah, but that's why you see some high-scoring games. There sometimes they don't play defense at all. It's like a Pro Bowl. I mean, watching this year's Pro Bowl. But no, but that you put in some great numbers in arena football too. So that's a bit props to you, man. Props to you. That's amazing. So, but now getting to your inspiring book, and Yeah, so you just mentioned you can find on Amazon, and where else can the fans, our fans, find your book? And what does this mean to you, like having this amazing book?
It's I tell you, it was an honor to be able to sit down and do this because like I said before, man, I should be dead. I've had so many incidents where I know for a fact that there is a God.
Yeah.
There's no question in my mind that there is a God, because if not for him, I would not be here today. I would go into some of the stories, but I'm gonna make you guys get the book.
Yeah.
But you know, it's special to me because I actually wrote it first for other football players, because you know I made a choice to take those painkillers, and you know I know there's a lot of kids that would do the same thing because you know they want to play, and I really wrote it for that. But then when I finished the book and other people started reading it, man, it was like, man, this is great, man. This is my daughter needs this book. She needs to read it because she's having a problem, and just blew up like that. And then we were on the Steve Harvey show a few months back, and it gets kind of kindled up again. And you know, just people are getting it, and I didn't know it was going to be. I was just telling my story, man. You know, I was just telling what the things I went through because I grew up. I grew up in this, like I said, this small town. I was a Christian kid, and we went to church every Sunday. I didn't drink. I didn't swear. I didn't do none of it. I didn't do none of that stuff, man. You know, it was like I was this goody two shoes kid coming out of this small hometown. I knew about beer. I knew about marijuana and all this other stuff, but you know, I never wanted to try it until I made that choice to take those painkillers, and because I just wanted to stay on the field. And it was it was an innocent choice at the time, but it led me down a road that I don't want anybody to go to. But at the same time, I'm so thankful that I went down that road, because now I got the opportunity to keep other people, to keep other kids from going down that same road.
Wow. I mean, like I said, it's truly amazing to see what you're doing with your book. And obviously, I can give you two examples from the Raiders, Max Crosby and Darren Waller. They've been through the same thing too. So have you given them any advice, or have you connected with them too? Or
I have not. If any, if anybody reaches out to me, I will definitely give my advice. But my thing where I really want to focus, and what we've really been focusing on is kids, and because that's where my heart is. My little small hometown in upstate New York, Penn Yan, which I would have never thought would ever happen. I mean, kids are overdosing, dying in this little small town. You know what I mean? And I can imagine coming from what's in my small town. What about these big cities? I mean, the kids are dying, man, because of the choices that they're making. And so, if we can get to the kids before they make this choice, I think way back then, I forget. I think it was Nancy Reagan who was just say no. That was a kid. That was a theme. Just say no. Okay, so why are we saying no? What's the reason why you say no? And so that's why I wrote my book, to let the kids see that the reason you say no is because your life is not about you. Your life's really not about you. You're actually put on this earth to help somebody else, and that's what our goal is in life. If everybody can understand that is your life is here to help somebody else. Man, this place would be a great place to live. But that's where I'm at, and I just want to help as many people as possible. When you guys contacted me and wanted me to come on, I was like, yeah, it was great. I didn't know who you guys were, but it was an opportunity for me to. If I get a chance to help somebody, I'm all about it.
Do you want to know how I found your page?
Yeah, how did you find from my granddaughter?
No, no. On Twitter, someone posted something about you and Rocky Blair. Someone tagged you with Rocky Blair, I think his name. Yeah, former Army veteran, and he played for the Steelers.
Yeah.
Someone tagged you in a post with you and him, so that's how I found your name. And then we reached out to Rocky too, but he hasn't answered yet. But that's how we found your page was on Twitter. That Twitter post that someone tagged you in.
I don't know, because I've never met Rocky Blair before in my life, so I don't know how we were.
No, because I saw your in Twitter name there too with Rocky's Twitter name too. So I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it's before we get a couple more things here before I let you go. What are your overall thoughts on this year's NFL season and obviously the Super Bowl?
I thought it was a great season, man. It was great. In the stadiums and everything, I thought that was fantastic. You don't really, I was watching the NFL without the fans, and I can't even imagine playing. I mean, I guess I could, but I don't know if the fans know how important they are to us. I mean, it's a cool thing, man. It's really cool to see people cheering for you and believing in you and hoping that you do good and you get to interact with the fans, and it was great. It was great to see that come back again. Overall, I think the season went great. The playoffs, man, they had some super games during that playoff run. Although I think every game during the playoffs were great games to watch, and then it came down to the Super Bowl. I thought the Super Bowl was a great game to watch as well. It went back and forth. The Rams took the lead, and then Cincinnati came back to take the lead. And I thought, if they could just control Aaron Donald for a little bit longer, man, they would have won that game.
Yeah.
So I think it's a great. It was great for Matthew Stafford to, after all those years playing with Detroit, get an opportunity to come and play for the Rams and win the Super Bowl. So that was pretty cool for him. But I think the kid, he's gonna get back there pretty soon because the guy's got a lot of weapons, and they gotta fix that offensive line.
Yeah,
man. They gotta do something with that offensive line to keep that guy protected.
They need the offensive line you had in your career.
I know, right?
But kudos. I mean, the Bengals. I picked the Bengals to win also, but they're like I said. I mean, like you said, they're going to be back there at some point during their tenure. And Joe Burrow got that swag, man. He's a real deal.
Oh yeah.
Jamar Chase is the real deal. Joe Mixon. That's a bad man over there.
They got a good football team, man. The only thing they just need to do is just help get that offensive line stronger, and they're going to be held to deal with in the next few years.
Yeah, but congrats to the Rams, and they deserve it. Aaron Donald, Odell Beckham, Matthew Stafford, man, this guy is a heck of a quarterback, and to be able to do it in his first year after being traded to win the Super Bowl, it's amazing. And this is back-to-back years that time, but both quarterbacks has won a Super Bowl for their new team in the first year. Tom Brady did it, and now Matthew Stafford, crazy. And
and it's crazy. I've never seen. Last year Tampa Bay played in Tampa Bay.
Yeah, and then LA.
And now this year LA plays in LA. How often does that happen, right?
That's crazy.
It never happens.
Yeah. Wow, but so now the last two things. Our team is part of this foundation. It's called the Hugh Jackson Foundation. He's a former NFL coach. He's now coaching for Grambling State University, and we're trying to help him prevent human trafficking, making sure the community stays safe, the kids stay safe, and it's still horrible out there what we're seeing with human trafficking. So we're going to send you the foundation so you and your family can check it out.
Absolutely, appreciate that.
Yeah. And the last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and all the essential workers right now?
We thank you for your, I want to say duty for what you guys do, man. It's incredible. You guys work really hard, so I just want to say thank you. You guys are the true heroes for real.
Yeah, well said there. And man, there it is. Oh, actually, would you plug? Would you like to plug anything before we close up? Would you like to plug anything?
No, my wife, she just started a business, right?
Oh, yeah.
And she does doggy treats,
Mhm.
and so Delectable Doggy Delights. You go to the website. She makes them right. Well, we make them. She got me working.
Yeah.
We make them right at home, and the dog loves them.
Oh,
Every
wow.
dog loves them. So
That's,
Delectable Doggy Delights,
well, that's
LLC.
I gotta go check that out. We have a dog. We have a dog also. We have a golden doodle. So
Oh yeah, he'll love it, man. I mean, I've never seen a dog that doesn't like. I mean, it's chicken. What it is? It's like
oh wow.
just chicken, just not even cooked, dehydrated, and it's all natural. And the dogs go crazy over it.
So what before we go, what's the scouting report on your dog?
What's the scouting report
On your dog?
on my dog?
No. What's the scouting report as a running back for you with your dog?
He's swift and crazy.
Oh god. Yeah, but that's a cute dog, by the way. That's a cute
Thanks,
dog.
man.
Yeah, so there it is, guys. That wraps up episode 983 with former NFL running back, former East Carolina running back, former Arena football running back, Tony Collins. Go
You had to put that arena football in there.
Go follow him on all social media formats. Man, this was amazing. What a great day to start off on a Friday with this type of interview. And thank you for sharing your stories. And man, everybody needs to listen more about your story. And Tony, tell your wife, just say thank you to your wife because for letting you just to get back into this and sharing your story because everybody needs to hear this. Whoever is going through something. And thank you to our fans for tuning in and asking questions to Tony. Great questions today. But we would love to have you back on the show at some point down the line so you can meet the full team. But keep up the great work. You and your family are such inspirations. And thank you again and have a great weekend and stay safe.
Yeah, just let me know when you want me to come back, man. I would love to come back because it's all about helping people. So if I can get my message out any way I can, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, thank
you.
Yeah,
Thank you.